EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Tiburon Championship. A lot of excitement here. Let's take you out to the action once again at the 13th. Frank, what's the mindset this late in the first round when you haven't played your best?
Well, somehow you've got to get into the clubhouse, minimize the damage. And you've also got to figure out what's gone wrong. Little trip to the range, fix it up. Tomorrow will be a better day.
So that ball nestles down in the rough. Just got away a little bit on that tee ball. Second shot from 100 out.
There's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Well, that's what separates the good players from the great players, the ability to get it that close from that kind of lie. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Clean this up with a tap. Frank, that's a par, and onward we go. 14th hole here at Wolf Creek. Time to pull out the driver and as well the foam, because you want to take some pictures here. What a spectacular view. Stunning.
You can see a whole panoramic sort of 360 degrees right around this golf course. Then when you flick back and actually look at the 14th hole, there's 6 bunkers, 3 really in play with the tee shot, as you can see, the other 3 just up by the green. Anything to the right of those is preferred, unless you want to be playing your second shot out of the canyon or the bunkers. Green should be fairly receptive, and 3 distinct portions, which is sort of a common trait here at Wolf Creek. It's sort of 3 different tier levels in that. But let's see, birdies are to be made at Wolf Creek, maybe even one here.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. This is a pretty long putt here. You'd be happy to get this to within 2 or 3 feet. You really want to take the stress out of that next putt. So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Rolls in the par putt, stays at +2. Here at the 15th hole here at Wolf Creek, bit of a breather here. Nice, short par 3. You don't want to miss this green.
No, that's the temptation there. If you try and bite off a little too much because it looks a little too easy, then a bogey here and you're in a bad mood all of a sudden at Wolf Creek.
This is a good-looking shot. Regarded as a very accurate player, that shot says it all. Not a gimme, but well within his range.
Well, that one's got a stink. There's a good stroke.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Two over for the day. Now to the 16th hole, and Frank, another good scoring chance.
If you can avoid the confusion off the tee, it looks like the hole might be a dogleg, then is it a carry? It meanders from one way to the other, but really when you actually break the hole down, it's virtually straight ahead. Those two bunkers in the driving distance, they frame the hole nicely, so play it as a straightaway par 4. It should set up beautifully for just a little short iron and perhaps a birdie opportunity.
Be a little disappointed with that because it lands in the rough and it appears to be fairly thick over there. How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a masterclass in short game.
We'd love to get this one. Big putt for birdie.
How did that not go in? Oh, I thought that'd at least pick up a shot. Birdie looked like a sitter. Now at par.
Just a little tap in here. That's a par. Stays at +2. Frank, this is really a cool closing stretch here at Wolf Creek. Short par 3 15th, the short 4 at the 16th, and now the par 5 17th. You can make up some ground in a hurry as you come down the finishing stretch.
You certainly can. A good drive short of the little stream creek that runs across there, and this is doable as a two-shotter. You find the bunkers or trouble off the tee, then obviously you're forced to lay up, leaving that third shot across the water. But really a fun hole if you want to try and take that second shot on.
That is just a beautiful shot. Playing his second shot here at the par 5. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Outstanding strike right there, right off the center of the club face, and a good chance for birdie. Shouldn't be a problem here. Oh my goodness, he just missed that. And that was almost tap-in distance. Sitting right now at 2 over par for the round. So 1 over par for the round. Now the closing hole here at Wolf Creek. Frank, what's ahead of us?
You could try and drive at this green, but there's too much trouble, really, Rich. Even though this hole's just over 300 yards, it's very ambitious to try and drive it across that water. Some might try. Most people try and hit a tee shot 240, 250 yard mark, and of course, you do the maths, you're only going to have 60 or 70 yards in, and, well, they want you to finish on a good note. So a good drive in the fairway here, or 3-wood, pitch it on the green, make a 3, and buy your friends a drink in the cabin. Oh, that's it. New member of the 300-yard club.
Good poke right there. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Great way to finish off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity. Frankie's going for 2 birdies in a row.
If he can knock this one in, then that's certainly going to help the confidence. Well, that'll put the smile back on the face.
Don't forget, second round coverage coming your way tomorrow here on EA Sports. For our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live second-round coverage of the Tiburon Championship. Now on to the par 4 7th hole. Is this a reachable par 4, Frank?
Distance-wise, you would think so, but the designer has done something to avoid that, and that's put all this water in front of the green. It would take a mammoth tee shot, and that's something like 300 yards through the air if you're going to try and even drive this green. Is the risk worth it? Well, if you're just playing with your friends, maybe it is. Otherwise, you just lay it up just past those those bunkers on the right and the left. Get it down there on the flat. A little pitch you would think is simple, but because of the slope of this fairway, chances are you might not get a flat lie, and that's going to make that second shot that much harder.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Second shot now to the 7th, and really no margin for error here.
You certainly have to be pinpoint precise with your second shot. If you've laid back, then you've got a nice slightly uphill lie, which should help. But if you try and get it past those bunkers, then you're dabbling with that downhill lie. That's going to make that second shot a little harder to judge because the ball's going to come out lower. And remember, this is where the thin air makes that shot a little harder to judge.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. I mean, that's how the game is played, right there.
He's just making it look so easy. That birdie coming up, formality.
Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. That's a birdie, and that's a good position from which to make a weekend move comfortably inside the cut line, still with plenty of time left in this tournament. Not looking good, Frank.
No, I think it's wet.
Frank, this is always such a difficult spot for a golfer. You just hit one out of bounds, you're trying to regroup.
He's going to need to more than regroup now.
Now on his third shot after being penalized for going out of bounds.
Yeah, tough break really, Rich, on that last shot. It just got away from him.
Frank, not only is this a beautiful golf course to look at, but it's fun to play because you can hit it ridiculously long.
Off an elevated tee, altitude, warm air. At times, the ball will just feel like it's going to go forever. But sometimes in golf, too, it's still about controlling distance. So it's fine to hit a driver a long way, but second shots can be very, very difficult because if you're hitting a short iron, it's hard to control that distance. And in the end, it's still about how close you hit it to the flag. Factor in that too, the putting on all these greens, which is very, very difficult. But that's why Wolf Creek, it's an experience to see, fun to play, but difficult to work out.
Now it's right in his wheelhouse, good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. That ball's sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
that's how you do it. Hit it close, take the pressure off that putt. That one should be no problem. Now this for birdie. Came away with a bogey on the previous round. Well, at last, a birdie. Start of the back nine here at Wolf Creek Golf Club in Mesquite, Nevada. Rich Lerner for EA Sports with my partner Frank Nobilo. Frank, tell us about the 10th.
It looks intimidating off the back of this tee, Rich, and that's because the desert ridge on that right side, it sort of blocks your view and you don't see the right side of this fairway. Once you realize there's a lot more room to the right, then that tee shot becomes a little bit easier. Now also the angle of this green, you're going to see it sort of turn to the right there. So you've really got to be careful on where the flag is positioned on this green. If they put the flag back right, then obviously that's the hardest this hole's going to play. Flag sort of left of center, then this still could very much be a birdie hole.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. This is a long putt. Really, the key is the speed. If it drops, that's a bonus. Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read. And missed out on that second part. Getting set now over the putt. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts.
Even par currently.
Well, you're not going to make that putt all the time, but you'd like to at least get it to the hole.
If he keeps putting like that, he's going to be an announcer in no time.
Frank, how do you explain what we saw here?
It's a mess. It's probably the easiest way to put it. This is a case of anything that could go wrong. Not just probably, it did.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Tiburon Championship. Well, this looks good.
It certainly is.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway.
Rich, these winds haven't subsided at all today. It's certainly a tough test out there right now for these players.
They get your attention, don't they, as a player?
They have club selection right now, vital.
You put the ball back in your stance just a little bit?
If you're going to hit it down.
Chance to get it close here. On the green, and a chance for birdie here in the first hole. Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round.
A great start.
Ready to tee off here at the second hole. Quite a view from up here, Frank.
Once again, big elevated tee. And it's hard to imagine you have a tee that high up, but that'll shorten that 445 yards. Obviously, it's a dog leg left. You've got to be careful if you hit driver and two straight, because then you can run out. A nice tee shot in the middle there, and then you've got a relatively straight shot into this sort of par 4 green, obviously going a little bit back up the hill. And once again, a little bit like that opening hole, sort of different tiers on that green. Try and make sure that you're on the right one.
And that's going to stay on the fairway here at the second hole. Frank, what do you think about this approach here at the second hole?
Once again, we're going to go a little bit back up the hill. Really, there's only that one bunker on the right. That shouldn't be in play. Green goes uphill and a little bit to the left. So you really got to try and make sure you work on the right distance there. Get that ball on the right tier where the flag is located.
Good-looking shot right here. Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
That was not a very good read right there. Locked in on the read and the speed. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Nudge this one home, finish it up. That's a bogey putt, dropping down the leaderboard a bit, now at 2 over par. Now on to the third, first of the short holes here at Wolf Creek. Uphill shot, Frank?
Yes, it's going to play a little longer because of that. Then it's 227 yards off the back tee. Hard to imagine you have a par 3 in amongst this desert. And really, that's all it is. Tee and green. There's not much in between. Well protected, as you can see, by those bunkers. And this green a little smaller than what you'd like for a hole that's around that 230-yard mark. Oop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Coming out of the rough and right up next to the hole. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Frank, you can see by the reaction, it has been that kind of week. Just a few too many pars. 383-yard fourth hole. Certainly not long, Frank, but there's plenty of trouble out there.
Yeah, this is very much a positional hole. This is not sort of tee it up with a driver and just rip it down. It's just find the fairway. You're going to have virtually just a short wedge, 9-iron really at the most into this green. And really, this is a good chance for a birdie. So 2 good shots, and you shouldn't be too far away.
And that's where you want to be at the fourth, in the fairway. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Good swing, good shot yet again. Superb shot.
Well, it's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
It's the beautiful part of golf. Brand new day, new hole. Remember, he made a bogey here yesterday. This time for birdie. Oh yeah, he's made it for a birdie. Now to the par 5 fifth hole. Cut it over the ridge here, Frank?
Well, if you can, if you dare. And there is actually a stream here. I know we're in the middle of a desert, but if you can clear that stream, that's the main thing. This is a crazy-looking tee shot because it looks like you want to go down that left, down that canyon area, but if you don't know the exact distance you fly the ball, then you're going to be in lots and lots of problems. Those collection of 3 bunkers down the right side, as long as you can avoid that, then that second shot to this par 5, that's not overly long, it's just under 500 yards, is certainly reachable. Second shot will play uphill to a elevated green with, once again, 3 different levels.
Okay, the second shot now at this par 5. Frank, just a beautiful day out there today, but there are some challenges.
Yeah, those tricky winds up there, you've really got to focus on exactly how strong it is and what direction, because it's very easy to make the mistake of hitting the wrong club out here. You make a mistake with the wrong club choice, even a good swing is not going to get rewarded.
Had the club face open just a bit at impact, and that one moves considerably to the right of the flagstick. Pretty good stroke right there, just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Good roll, solid. That's a par. Frank, standing on the 6th tee and looking out at this golf course, I can't help but think that if you hit it offline here, you're going to be playing golf with the billy goats.
Yeah, you might actually turn into a billy goat come the end of the day, that's for sure. The huge elevation changes, once again, are apparent here at the 6th. Tis a dogleg to the right, not really a driver unless you want to sort of bring that creek into play or that little stream that cuts across. Second shot, a little bit uphill. Those bunkers are really where you shouldn't go, we all know that. And this green is anything other than flat. A fun-looking hole, too, and a fun hole to play.
Be a little disappointed with that because it lands in the rough and it appears to be fairly thick over there. 115 yards left. Frank, what's that, a good 6-iron for you? Frankie's cranking it and banking it. Giant drives, a boatload of birdies. What a round.
Yeah, these are the days you just dream for. We know golf's not that easy, but on a day like today, savor it and just keep going. Keep doing it.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Doing whatever he wants with that golf ball. Moving it left, moving it right, hitting it straight when it's called for. He's doing it all. Shouldn't be a problem here. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
No problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
Final round coverage comes your way tomorrow for our entire crew. I'm Rich Lerner saying thanks for being with us on EA Sports, and so long for now. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Tiburon Championship. Here at the 15th hole here at Wolf Creek, bit of a breather here. Nice, short par 3. You don't want to miss this green.
No, that's the temptation there. If you try and bite off a little too much because it looks a little too easy, then a bogey here and you're in a bad mood all of a sudden at Wolf Creek.
That's how you play the game, right there. Stick it in close and then knock in the birdie. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knocking in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it is going to hurt the cause.
Did the job right there. From a short par 3 to a short par 4. Just 393 yards here at the 16th, Frank.
And when you stand on this tee, this hole looks anything other than straight. Goes to the left and comes back to the right. But if you can just... He's gone for a little extra.
Just pulverized that golf ball.
Oh, huge. Huge with a capital H.
Busted that. Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
This is a good-looking shot. See if he can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie. And getting ready for the putt. That was just a lousy putt right there. No other way to say it. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. They'll take it. That's a par. Frank, you licking your chops here at the par 5, 17th hole?
Oh, why not? A chance to reach a par 5 and 2, but there's still pitfalls in front of you. A little creek or stream runs across the fairway, so really limiting the distance you can hit that tee shot, but it's still reachable from just short of that creek. Find trouble off the tee, then obviously you turn it into a 3-shotter, but a good tee shot, and it's too tempting to resist not going for this green.
Good tee shot right in the fairway and plenty long. This could be a huge momentum swing here, Frank.
Yeah, one more good swing, and he's going to have an eagle putt coming up. I know you don't want to get ahead of yourself, but it is well on the cards.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable, that never deviated offline.
These putts keep the round together. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Par yesterday. Now for birdie. Frank, we haven't seen a whole lot of that, but no doubt it feels good. Finishing hole here at Wolf Creek is only 307 yards. Frank, where's the trouble here?
Short and to the right of this par 4. Really, there's a multitude of options off this tee. You could hit an iron, you could hit a fairway wood. Even some might try and hit a driver, but you know, that's a little too risky. There's too many problems up ahead if you try and take this hole on. Really, a short club off the tee, leaving yourself some area of 100, 70 yards, and you're going to be putting for birdie more often than not.
Well, they claim it's a reachable par 4. We haven't seen a whole lot of people do it today. We just saw it right there. Well done. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt.
Rich, how can you leave an eagle putt short?
Well, you can't. I mean, that's embarrassing.
You can leave a par putt, birdie putt, an eagle putt.
Might want to just shut the game down and quit playing. That has to feel good. That's a birdie. Frank, it was a great setting with great crowds. We saw plenty of very good golf. Your thoughts?
I think the course really extracted some of the golf that we saw. It forced these players to play just some great golf, and it wasn't just like a pitch and a putt golf course. So I think seeing the guys tested, seeing the players tested at this level, it was a treat.